Well, the heads of the CIA and Israeli intelligence agency have arrived in Doha for talks with Qatari officials, and they're also joined by the chief of the Egyptian spy agency. Now, Qatar has been the main mediator in negotiations with Hamas for the release of Israeli captives and Palestinian prisoners. Let's speak to our White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett. What more are you learning about this trip?
Well, the CIA doesn't generally talk about the meetings that are taking place. It's usually for a spy agency, not surprisingly, quite closed-lipped when it comes to those details. But what we do know is that the desire of the United States and the Biden administration is for this meeting to result in building on the temporary truce agreement or ceasefire agreement that's already in place. The goal of the United States is to try and see more captives released and also more humanitarian aid being brought into Gaza. And so what we know in addition to that is that the National Security Council has also announced that there will be 3 military flights that will be heading to the region, landing in northern Egypt, we understand, and that the aid that continues to flow in will be dispensed through the United Nations. Now, all of this is a result of a lot of domestic as well as international pressure on the Biden administration, given the fact that it has been backing Israel in its war on Gaza and the enormous number of Palestinian casualties that is not sitting well with many here in the United States. And so as a result, this meeting is also going to be looking at what governance looks like in Gaza following what the Israelis say is their ultimate goal, and that is to defeat the leadership of Hamas and really to loosen its grip on Gaza.
Right. And Kimberly, we understand that the White House has been discussing Palestinian civilian displacement. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's right. Well, in terms of the displacement, the big concern is that there is going to be mass casualties as a result of people moving from the north to the south. And so what the administration is working with Israel on is making sure that there is going to be precision in the military campaigns that Israel says it is planning to resume once the agreement that is currently in place finally ends. And as we've noted, there is this desire to extend it, but that is not any sort of definite or firm plan at this moment. So the concern is of all of this is that there's going to be further mass casualty, and that's something that the United States is under enormous pressure to stop and is now using its leverage with Israel to try and do so. And so far, what we're hearing is that the Israelis are receptive, even as they vow to continue their military campaign.
Okay, thank you. Kimberly Halkett reporting from the White House.